See if we can get some energy in this. I've been sluggish lately. We'll find out if I need to take a nap or not. Let's make sure that the chat filter is set to all messages. And then we will return to the Walrus. Light's actually not that useful. Can you guys even tell the difference? No. Okay, fine. We'll do it without a light. That'll work. Now we're getting ready to put these wings on here. And then once we get some folks in here, I got something interesting to talk about that I don't think has ever happened to me before. So, all right, let's make sure that this does not need to be here. That also does not need to be here. Okay, this is the wing that this one goes down here. That one's there, that's the down one. This is the down one over here. And then the upper wing on this one is this one over there. And the upper wing is this one here. Now I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to glue the two bottom wings. I'm going to glue the two bottom wings, and well, let's just do one side, and then we'll get these supports as well that fit in where they need to go here. Let's support 35 and 36. I believe those are yellow pieces. Let me slide all the way back here to the back. I've had a great time this morning putting this together. I mean, like a really good time. 35 and 36. Okay, so it's these two. Hold on a second. It's 35. Oh, it's this one. And 36 is the one on the right. How weird. How really weird. All right, I'm not going to use the clippers on this. There's 36. 36 goes in the front, and 35 supposedly goes in the back. And then the one that holds everything together at the front is 37, which is more like a rod. And that's this one over here. Well, this isn't that old because that little flex might have caused this thing to snap. All right, let's get this out of the way and trim these little pieces. All right, so this is going to go over here. This is the trailing piece, and that's the leading piece. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue this in place. I think these two halves are together pretty well. Where's my weld cement? Good morning, Ben. I mean, evening, whatever. I had something interesting that happened to me today that's never happened to me before. And it's weird. So I left, and I think I know what caused it. I left to go run errands. And one of the places that we went to is this place that's called Bath and Body Works. So it's a place that has like hand soap, creams, and shit. You know, like lady smelly shit, like stuff, right? Perfumes, all kinds of stuff. Because there was a sale on soaps for the house. Alva Oz, I think they said it. Alia Oz, sorry. Hello, welcome. I think that's how you say Oz. I don't know with the two little umlauts. It's probably Turkish, I would imagine. Alia, welcome. And I completely lost my sense of smell. And here's what's even weirder than that. So I started feeling like uneasy. Like I just felt weird. I felt calm, but I felt weird. And I think there's so much dust that it has affected my respiratory. Well, it's kind of hard to say because like I don't have a problem breathing, but I feel like I've got some kind of a sinus infection. And it might be from these like old ass fucking instructions. I've never experienced something like that before. It's that damn. Well, you know, the funny thing is I'm not working with that plastic for the attic. This was sealed. I feel like dust, you know, and it's funny because you know normally you would have like the dust on your hands would like they would get all like prunes, suck all the moisture out of it, and that didn't happen. It's almost like these old ass fucking instructions. I don't know. I mean, it didn't feel bad. It just it's just weird. Just kind of weird, you know. Tom, it's that damned plastic. You and your damned plastic, Don. Don's damned plastic. You know what else is damned? Humbrol colors. Screw Humbrol. You know, Humbrol, first of all, they don't have them here. Second of all, I ain't using enamels. It's the 21st freaking century. I'm not using enamels or lacquers or anything like that. We're going to use acrylics. Acrylics are good for you. They got vitamin C in them and shit. I don't need that toxicity in my life. No, seriously, I'm fine if there's different types of paint because you know options are good for the consumer. But I went to one place. Oh, I know what it was. It was that phone call. One guy was like, use acrylics? Like, you're stupid to use acrylics." And I'm like, "Don't tell me I'm stupid. You're the one that's gonna have fucking cancer." There is no way 8-year-old me would have been able to build this, or 12-year-old me, or 15-year-old me. But then the other thing is, if this box is sealed, right? And this box was sealed. How the hell does dust get on these instructions? Well, you could do it. You know, you're like, "Oh man, that's kind of annoying doing it the way you're doing it." I said, "Yeah, but I can do this forever. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, it's going to set, it's epoxy, it's going to set, and I'm screwed." Nope. Let's get it on the top here. Oh, let's follow my own recommendations. We got this. This is a lot easier than what's waiting for me at work tomorrow. The patience of the saint and the touch of an angel. That's what you need here. I don't know that I have either one, but I know what it takes. Whether I have what it takes is something different. This is some empowering shit doing this. Let's see what we got on here. I guess taking a sip from the wrong cup when using enamels is a more serious event. Could be asbestos dust that's sat there for Lord knows how long. Oh man. I don't know. Was there asbestos in these instructions? It's funny. It didn't affect my sense of taste, but I'm literally like smelling this hand soap. I can't smell it at all. Hot damn. We in business. I love this one. I love weld cement. I love weld cement. You take a piece that's 50, you take a model that's 57 pieces and you turn it into one piece. Yeah, like none of these things are particularly dusty. Now we do the same thing with the other wing. However, we need another bottle cap with it. Well, we should be able to use that same one when we bring it over here to the other side. I got a spare one. The problem is I don't know where the hell all the stickum is. I got plenty of it. Oh, you know what? I got more in the drawer. Removable mounting putty. Benjamin, what's up? Cuckoo, Cachoo, you got it. Not one of my Beatles songs. I like about half the Beatles songs. I don't like the drug-induced Beatles songs. I can't relate to drug-induced music. I only do caffeine. And I don't see things when I do caffeine. I don't see walruses or other sea creatures or penguins or, you know. I love this. I've had such a good time the last two paint sessions, like a really good time. And it's because I can do whatever I want. Like it's not like I'm going to stop building this and go and build something else. Like, no, we're going to finish this. I may not paint it immediately, but let's finish this Joker. And I've never built these things. It's not like, oh, this reminds you when I was 7 years old. I'm like, nope, I get to be 7 now. So joke's on me. I gotta go to work. This is the top, so this is the bottom. Let's go ahead and add this to the bottom here. And we're going to paint this like it's a float plane on an aircraft, on a ship, on a Royal Navy vessel. Okay. Now let's cut. And the funny thing is, I have all this stuff stacked, and I got plenty of space. It's not like I'm encroached in a little corner. So 90% of music you don't like. I've said this before. I'm not picky about food. I'm really picky about music. There's a lot of, I dislike most music. Well, how can you say that? I said, well, why is so much music so bad? Yeah, I don't understand drug stuff, so. Okay. 36 is the other one. So this is 40. So 40 is the leading edge over here. 40 is in the lead. And the one behind is 35. 39, sorry. This is one of these, man, I better hope they tell me to cut the right ones out, because I'm going completely on their take of it. I don't hear well, and I really don't hear lyrics well. So, one of the cruises we went on was had a Beatles impression band, and they sounded just like them. And the poor guy that played John Lennon looked like John Lennon, which, he looks like a weirdo the whole time, a nerd burglar. Except when he plays the Beatles, he's like the best. He's the one that looks like one of them. So, but they're actually pretty good. I don't like their later stuff. That's all. They're before my time, so. Never been a fan of drugs as well. Maybe why my music career didn't last past my university days. Yeah. Well, it'd be like, I like the idea of drinking, but if you're drunk all the time, you're experiencing a reality that's not really happening. I mean, you're not, what you're seeing isn't really what's going on. So what's the point? And I basically don't drink. I need to drink at work, not when I'm not at work. And I can't drink at work, so I can pretty much do without. But yeah, that respiratory thing, I don't know if it's respiratory, because it's not like I can't breathe or anything, but I felt like I was coming down with something. And I think it's just this old ass crusty dust. So one of the smells that I don't mind that my wife does not like is what I call the smell of England. Uh-oh. It's basically a library. It's like that moist oldness. And I mean, I don't want my house to smell like that, but it doesn't bother me. Like it's like it's not unpleasant to me. Like what a library smells like at a university. You know, if they put it in a cologne, that smell would be called wet Oxford. Moist Oxford. All right, let's see if we can get away with this now. Oh, no, got to do this part too. I really don't want to flip this upside down unless I can get away with it. Hold on one second. All right, let's see what we got. I don't want to have to do this, but I may have to. Yeah, I think we're in business. Now, here's an interesting thing that I noticed. This thing came out of the little hole, the peg that it has here. Interesting. Hold on. definitely fucked with my sense of smell. There's no doubt about it. It smells totally different. I'm gonna hold this for a little bit. What we got here? Might need to do a test to see if you're having a week off work. Nah, we're good. Place is burned down. I take a week off of work without planning. I ain't coming back. I feel great. This old asbestos from the 70s. I don't know why that thing doesn't want to sit in this place. Yeah, they're both, yeah, they're where they need to be. Let's hold this down for a little bit. All right. What do we do next? We got landing gear. The landing gear hardly down on this vehicle. When it's sitting on the ship before it gets catapulted off, it doesn't have a landing gear down, does it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Shit, I planned to take one day off, did all the work, and they still fucking called me at work with a problem. All right, there's a color chart I downloaded. What is this Walrus aircraft? Walrus. Good Lord, I can't see the screen. Come on. Walrus plane on catapult. Images. Takes so long to freaking type that shit from this vantage point. Let's see here. What's getting pulled up? It's up. When it's folded, it has the wheels down. It gets launched without the wheels down. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the outriggers out, and if it balances standing here with the outriggers out, then the wheels will be up. That's how we'll solve it. That's how we'll solve this joker. Hold on one second.
Thank you for trying.
You bet. All right, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and do the floats, which is 44 and 43. 44 and 43. And 44. And then these two go together on the other side. .44 and 43 go on this side of the plane. All right, so this one goes over on this side. I'm surprised this plastic isn't more brittle. It fits so good, it's hard to take it apart. Okay. And then on this one. Let's see how this is going together now. There we go. So these lights that I have on right now are just the intrinsic lights into this room. It's the LEDs on the roof. I wouldn't be able to do that in the old house. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, you wouldn't get a week off of work because you just work from home. if I took a week off of work without unannounced, I wouldn't want to come back. The place would be so fucked up. It's fucked up when I leave for a week and leave everything done. Especially now, we got a lot of really inexperienced people trying to cover that. It'd just be a nightmare. All right, and this one, I'm not even going to test fit this one. It should, if the other side fits well, this one should as well. Glue in two halves so they don't have any locator pins. It's a pain in the butt. You're gluing things on faith. Now, while this one's doing its thing, still keeps wanting to pop out of here. What's the meaning of this? All right. This float goes here and here. See if we can get away with this. Now it's not going to be able to bounce because these are lower than the other ones, than the body. Why did you fall over, you slacker? And you're going to be like that, huh? We have a piece 42, which looks like it's like a tail wheel or something. Honestly, it might be the rudder. The water rudder. And this needs to sit something like so. There we go. You again? We're going to need to trim this a little bit to get it to fit in there. Okay, there's a little. I feel like I need to cut this thing down. Well, there's a picture of it, and it doesn't look anything like that. The little rudder wheel doesn't look anything like that. So for starters, I'm going to take this. I'm going to cut this little nub off because the nub is giving me issues. Okay, now that we got the nub off, this is kind of causing issues too. Now we can go ahead and attach that in such a manner. All right, where do we go next after the rudder? Great, all the pressure's on that piece. further back. How these supports looking? I think we finally kind of solved it. Let me see what this looks like with the landing gear down. Be right back. Let me go to the restroom. Be right back, just a moment.
30 minutes.
All right. So, the other wheel. I'm going to see how these machine guns fit in here. If they fit in here wonkish, I'm going to close up both of the positions. Because they have like little doors that can float open. If it just looks like crap, I'll close the two positions up. So the problem with painting Royal Navy on this thing, I have to paint it down here. So I have to avoid all of these things to try to paint that. That might be too big of a problem. I could certainly hand paint Royal Navy on it, but I can't hand paint delicate things when you can't get to it comfortably. All right, here's the two wheels. And if I do it with the landing gear down, they're basically on piece 47. Let's take a look at piece 47. I want to say it's a gray one. I want to say it's a gray piece. Yes, sir, you are correct. And it's ever so tiny. And this part is the one that's attached to the plane itself. And the wheel is, I mean, this is, I'm gonna do it with it. I'm gonna do it with the wheel down, I think. Because like I can't, let's see, this should be sturdy enough. If I put on the tail wheel there, it's kind of crick-crocked. I don't know, you guys you think this is a good looking plane? Like aesthetically, it's an attractive plane? I think it is. And then 48 is the other piece. That might be gray as well, but it is not. It is 48, 48, 48. It's this one. What the hell would you use for rigging for this? Fishing line? I don't know, I'm not going to rig this thing because, what's the point in rigging this model? And then at the end of the day, you don't have recessed panel lines. Okay, that is not part of the piece. That's flash. Okay, so that means the one that has a little 90-degree turn, Let's see if I like how this looks. So we'll put the landing gear up. Man, this makes separate look track look like a breeze. It's not difficult. This requires some tools, some perseverance, and some patience. There we go. Dude. What do we got here? Top heavy planes always look strange to me. I do like the look of arrow signs. Are those those things that the Soviets drove across the top heavy planes? There are not that many top heavy planes, is there? And this is not a good connection point. I don't think that's going to be strong enough to hold a wheel. It might be, but hey, look at this thing from the front and see if that's up against the hull. If it's up against the hull, it'll definitely be durable enough. But if it's not, it's not up against the hull. Well, we'll try assembling the other side. And then if it won't sit under its own weight, then we'll go to plan Q. The ski vehicles. You like those things? Man, those are... Well, there's a scenario in the campaign for a certain game that you have to use those. You like those things? What in the Lake Lagoda are you smoking? That's, I think, the only place that they probably use them somewhere else. But that's what they're known for. Lake Lagoda. What else do we got on here? We don't have a whole lot left. I wonder how this one-shot primer is. Self-leveling acrylic primer. Yeah, the other one's self-leveling too. Made in the USA. Really? Interesting. No, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I hope it's wonderful. I'm gonna have to cheat. I'm gonna have to cheat. It's hardly off of the side of this of the hull. I'm gonna push it up against the side of the hull. That way we'll have enough stability on this thing that it'll be able to handle the wheel. So that way when I put this one down, I'm going to have a much easier time with it. Till I break it. That's okay. There ain't no 8-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old putting this thing together. And then the other piece is this remaining one. So this supposedly has a tiny little 90-degree turn. You could barely see it in it. This is actually looking like kind of like one of those damn ashy pieces. It's supposed to fit somewhere that it doesn't. That's about where it needs to be. All right, we're going to not put pressure on those wheels. All right. Where do we go now from that? That's if you want to. I'll put the end. That's it. That's it. We just have to decide whether or not we're going to put these machine guns on there. Ain't no kid put this together. There's no way. There's no freaking way. All right, we got 2 hatch covers. Like the hatch cover on a Panzer IV or something. See what this looks like installed on her. is, has like a little flap that goes up. And the Lewis gun still sits there.
I'm coming in.
Oh, interesting. It doesn't cover that. It's like almost like a splash guard for the back. Interesting. All right, well, all right. Well, it's definitely going to get glued in then. Don't have to make a decision. And I'm not going to put a pilot in there because they look terrible. They all look the same too. It's the same guy cloned over and over again.
Hold on, I can't hear you 1 second.
You talking to me?
No, you're just leaving.
Okay. A little notch there. And that goes in there like this. This is the guy responsible for shooting their own tail off. And then up here, I have the same situation with. Where's the glass canopy for this thing? I put these together with Elmer's glue, PVA. This thing's pretty much ready to go. Is there anything left on here? Just the supports if it was if the landing gear was retracted. No. Okay, so this one's pretty much ready to go. Let's get a little baggie to put these little extra things in. This is all junk. Now, I'm not going to spray right now because it's warm out there. So we're going to roll to something else. Hopefully something that's not so damn dusty. And probably something that's not an aircraft. Just to mix it up a little bit. And something that's not a nightmare. Which one of these has a crook props in it? Well, that has a cut and cried and a Schwimmwagen. There it is. This is an Ari diorama set. These don't give you damn, they do, don't they? Hey, you sons of bitches. These damn rods. You sons of bitches. Like almost like they were catering to people. Like I want a tank that I want a vehicle with a V wheels that move. I don't. All right, let's pull this thing off. This might be just a piece of crap. Okay, we're going to need that. We're going to need, well, that's interesting. It's got this piece. You can tell that that's the benches for it. But nowhere on here does it tell you to assemble it on it. That Protz looks a bit big, does it? I don't know. Well, it's whatever it is. Is it Austrian or Czech? I remember we had the Tamiya one, and it was annoying that the only truck that they made was one there was no photographic evidence for. Back in the day, I didn't have any books that had the Protz in action. And I think it's an attractive truck. We're going to need Mr. Super Glue. Yeah, so look, there's some spare tires. One of these tires has the little mud flap things on them. Oh, that's the spares. Okay. Okay, fair enough. One, 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 one. Actually, I do have two. I have two of these trucks. They're horrible. They're from a company called Lizard's Grin. Houston Ships and Lizard's Grin. They're like handmade out of clay almost looking. They're terrible. The grill on them is really, really bad. The grill on the front of the, I guess they're probably usable, but I've had them a very long time. This is not a good model. No tread patterns. They're smooth, but they got the traction on the sides, but not where it's actually riding on the ground. Tell me it's a tight fit. It is. I'm saved. I'm saved. Better not use that. funny. This is like American olive drab colored. Yep, exert any more pressure on that. Holes work better when they're drilled out. I didn't clean this thing out. What the hell? It's just that one spot. The German trucks I don't like are those Steyr trucks. Those are ugly. Doesn't mean I won't build one. I'm not tripping over myself to get some. Cement parts together. Cement spelled with 2 M's. I think it was the instructions from the Matchbox kit, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to take like a 5 minute food break, and I'll be right back. All right. All right, we'll glue all these together. With some super glue. We should be good to go. I don't care if they turn or not. This is not a toy. Yeah, this would have been like, if I would have gotten one of these when I was a kid, I would have ended up using a glue that does not work on this, on that brass rod, copper rod, whatever the heck it is. Testor's squeeze bottle cement. I'm sure they had a different brand of that in Britain. Humbrol squeeze cement, whatever. And stuff probably works fine if you just squeeze it somewhere and use a toothpick to apply it, but that wouldn't have occurred to that would not have occurred to my 9-year-old brain. All right. Let's make sure this fits in here all right. Nope, this is plugged solid. Problem is, this is hard to cut and it's brittle, which is a bad combination. It's a bad combination because you need to put stress on it to cut it. All right. This is the console for it. Ooh, what a quality item. Take a look at this. Quality console there. It's like a speaker, that's the steering wheel. It's fine, it's durable. This thing's definitely made to pull either the infantry gun that I have or a Pack 36. But not both at the same time. There's scale on the box. Let's see what it says. Made in Japan, 1/76 scale. Now, whether it's correct or not, yeah, this is some of the best artwork, period. But these guys are definitely some Japanese wearaboos because it's all, you know, Nazi tank, Nazi tank, Nazi tank, another Nazi tank, another Nazi tank, and, you know. Now, this one looks badass right here. This Panzer IV, like a G or something like that, that one looks badass. Nazi tank, more Nazi tanks. And I don't know if they came with little sets where you could put them all together for one big diorama, but Ari, plastic model. Nazi fetish Japanese people. That's the problem I have with it. I don't have a problem with the make S vehicles. It's just like all they do is Germans this and Germans that and Germans the other thing. I'm like, okay, they gotta fight somebody. Damn, this is super brittle. Uber brittle. A date on here? No. Great instructions how to make diorama. You brush on glue and you sprinkle shit on it. That's it. Done. That's how you make diorama. This has to be underneath and then pops into place. Okay. You think this looks big? I mean, I know it's a small truck, but it's pretty darn small. It's a lot smaller than the. Let's get the Opel Blitz. Let's get the Airfix Opel Blitz out here. It's 1/76 scale. I know the Opel Blitz is a bigger truck. Opel Blitz, where are you? Man, the weathering on these things turned out great. I think I airbrushed it. It's definitely smaller. Wheels are smaller. So instead of having double wheels on the back, 2 axles, double wheels on the back, it's got 3 axles, single wheels. This plastic is not good. It's almost like resin. Maybe passable. Well, it looks a lot better than some of my other stuff that I picked up. I mean, the steering wheel's a fucking joke. But you know what? You don't have to worry about this thing falling off. That's a major understatement. I have a feeling if I push this thing into place, I'm not going to get it back out. It's kind of wedged in here the way it fits. I'll tell you what, I'm going to cut this off. Let's cut this off. Now, does it fit in better? Nope. Nope. And we'll cut that off too. Yeah, this is really a piece of crap. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Let's get a piece of sandpaper that's a little bit more abrasive. Yeah, something like this. This would have been a perfect vehicle to mold in gray. Nope, olive drab. We're almost there, a little bit more. Clip this off the back. I remember when I was doing 1/35th scale Tamiya stuff, they make crook plots. And I couldn't find any pictures in Panzer colors or any of those things that were available back then showing a crook prots. You can find them now. Can't find one in North Africa though. I'm pretty, I'm not so sure they went to North Africa. Protza. That's probably how you say it. Protza. Then is my protza. Now let's see, make sure this fits okay. Yeah, we can glue that on once it's in. Okay, why does this have this weird connection point? Almost like some kind of snap tight kit or something. Let's enlarge this a little bit. It's definitely it's a little smaller than the Opal Blitz. All right, it's time to glue this stuff together. All right, why does this one not want to go all the way in? All right, here, we'll put that super glue in. All right, this is obviously not working. Much better. Okay, and then this set of wheels. I take it you don't have one of these, Jeffrey. The only time I've ever seen these models was before I got into the scale. And there was this hobby store in Jacksonville called Art's Hobby Shop. And it was probably inches of dust on everything they had there. And they had a bunch of Skywave ships. And all kinds of different stuff. And they had these Ari models. That was before I even got into the scale, so. So there's some openings to the doors in the back. That's going to go like this. And then this is going to, actually this is going to fit inside of it. I think that's right. After we clean all this plastic off and stuff, there's Mega Flash. You have a couple Matchbox Revell Prots and Pack 36s. Oh, I bet they're better than this. This is, and I bet this might even be a newer kit than those. Yeah, I never got to experience all the glory days of Matchbox. And I bet those little diorama bases were cool. This diorama base is embarrassing. I know. You know, I think I'm going to kill this. We're not going to use it for this anymore. Let's see if we got a fresh blade. We're having to put too much oomph behind it. I'm going to have a situation. Now, ooh, we'll use this one. This reminds me of, what's that guy's name for the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Guan Yu? Is it Guan Yu that uses this big thing? Oh, yeah. I tried to find these things on Amazon. I couldn't find them. It's a number 10. Number 10 curved blade. Not good for everything, but there's some things it's better at than an 11. Guan Yu's big double-headed halberd that looks like this. They had a Revell STKFZ 11 with Africa cores and Africa core troops and a Pack 40 at the show yesterday. I think it's a Revell one. And I bet you it's the STKFZ 11. let's see what we're looking like for fit and finish. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Well, it can't go, it could go like that. And it can't go like this. It's got to go like this. So if this goes like this, I don't know what's going on here, other than I need to take a pee break. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna place for the water to be. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Definitely a brand that we're not going to recommend to anybody. Don't go out of your way getting these cheap ass RE models. Okay, it doesn't fit this way, so the seats have to go. The seats have to go like this. They have to. End of story. Okay, and then this. Ooh, okay. This goes around the front. This fits like this. This fits like this, supposedly. It doesn't fit in there. And it can't be that you remove these two things. But it's not shown in the description here. Let's go to scale mates. Let's look at the Tamiya model for. It actually doesn't show the seats putting on there. It'd be just like this, but that'd be weird. Let's look at let's see if we can make out anything on the Tamiya scale mates. Tamiya, the gold standard. All right. Scale. I'm just going to do scale mates. Group. Group plus. Oh my God, there's a lot of markings for it. Let's download those instructions. This has the benches going. Well, this is the one that's pulling the. This is the to me is the troop carrier one. So that's the wrong one. Okay, here's one from Bronco. Show me the pictures. Okay, this looks like the one that carries the troops. Might be this. But then this one is front and back like this. Might just be like this with nothing else on it. Because this definitely does not fit over it. It won't fit. Anything else in here? Got these two with fenders. And then over here. Oh. You know, I don't know what's going on there. I do not know. I do not know what's going on here. Now this can go in garbage. Okay, and these little attachment points. Wow, what a strange. I'm going to put this thing, I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to remove this one. Yeah, I think this might be two different options. Because it totally does not fit in that way. Got some make-believe guns over here. Who knows what the hell this is supposed to be? Maybe it's a 47 or something. I don't know. Mm. Oh, it's there. Woo. Ooh, this just snapped. that a fan? Oh no, it's the. I know what it is. It's the propeller on the back of this Schwimmwagen. Oh, interesting. I wasn't even pressing that hard, and this is supposedly not a Ching Chang Chung blade. This is a legitimate. Wow, it's a legitimate X-Acto blade. That's no bueno. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and stop here. I'm going to stop this filming. I'm going to go outside. We're going to do some airbrushing. So we can put the base color on these two things. Find out how this one-shot primer works. It's probably not going to make much of a difference on plastic models. I don't really worry about the paint coming off of it. But we'll be back in a few minutes. Bye-bye.